Hello, everybody. Hello. If you have not come up ready for refreshments, please come up, grab some treats, grab some coffee, grab a water, whatever you want. If you've already been up, come up and get extras. But in about 5 minutes or so, we're going to get started. Thank you all for being here.
You doing good?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah? How was the concert?
You know what? It's Mercy Me, and Mercy Me for me. Every time they get to, I can only imagine.
Oh, I know.
I'm shocked, like for days. I can't even talk about it.
Okay. All right.
So it's okay. I just said the same thing, Krista. Like I just cried.
Okay.
Because you can't. It's home.
I know.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I do. I always had that problem. I think it's that straight.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I have no idea. So it had to have been maybe them. I don't see that. I don't know. But they do have.
Well, since it quieted down. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for coming. On behalf of the school and the Bradley Jordan Foundation and Island Angels, we are very thankful that you showed up for this informational evening. We look forward to answering any questions you have at the end of the presentation. We'll be rolling through probably some of the questions you have as we go along will be answered throughout the presentation, so stopping during the presentation probably doesn't make very much sense. But we certainly will stop at the end and answer any question that you have, as long as you ask it civilly and politely. Just kidding. Pretty soon here we'll get the presentation up and running, and we'll kind of kick things off with how we got where we're at, and then we'll each take a turn sort of presenting our subject areas. I get to begin and end this thing. And Tom's almost there. He's doing the best he can. Thank you, Tom. Well, I can start talking before the presentation's up, really, I suppose. I've been in my position now, this is going my fourth year in the administrative position, and almost as soon as I started at the school, people started asking me about, are we going to get the new gym finally, or what are the new gym? And I honestly didn't know anything about it. I asked Sue a little bit about it, asked a few more people who was involved in the effort to have a new gym, and prominent among those people were Tom and Michelle Jordan. I also talked to Michael Gillespie, who was on the committee. Tom and Michelle graciously invited my wife and me over. She wasn't even part of the school at that point, for dinner, and we sat and we talked about their efforts to get a school built. And based on the conversations I had with them and the conversation that I had with Michael Gillespie, we decided to reach out to a contractor. Actually, I reached out to Brett Stouslin, the superintendent from Gibraltar, and asked, who do you used in the past? Who do you rely on? Who's a good person for us to contact? They gave us a contractor name. They were excellent. They came up, did a great presentation, talked about the process, would work with us all the way along. But the price tag was $8 to $9 million. It was a rough estimate that they'd given us. And honestly, we thought that was unattainable. We thought, well, we'll just make do with what we got and do the best we can. And the dream kind of died then, really, to be honest, until I was actually out at the pub and someone named Phil Martini approached me asking about the idea of the gym. And we had a nice conversation, and he shared his idea that so I guess he shared a thought that he had an idea that he'd like to run by me, and we agreed to meet sometime, not out to eat. And he came in and we sat down, and he had an idea that we could build a gym for nearly half what the initial estimate was. He thought between $4 and $5 million. And he had an idea of using mostly local contractors or subcontractors for the work that would be done, and that it could be funded outside of the tax rolls without needing to go to referendum, that we could do this donor funded, which sounded magical and wonderful, but I was skeptical. But we pursued it because why wouldn't we? And so, can we skip to the next slide, Phil? Trying, okay. Not yet. There we go. Which is how we got moving. Obviously, I wanted to put this up so to remind myself of some of the key talking points here. The start was a community interest. I kind of talked about that already. The next thing is the shortcomings of the gym. It didn't take long after the first couple of basketball games to see, I saw the very first game that I attended, someone who looked like, am I talking too fast? I do that sometimes, sorry. At the very first basketball game that I went to, I saw, I don't know if it's mean to say, but an older woman get hit in the head with a basketball. And we were like, holy cow. And, we're standing there, our feet are on the line, and it was winter, so people are tracking in snow. And so somebody handed me a towel, and I'm mopping up and down as we play the game. And it was fun, I guess, in a small gym. It seemed kind of character building or something, but clearly less than. And so the shortcomings of the gym, the community interest, and then learning later on of the town's interest in reallocating that space. Now, I went down and talked to Hans directly, and he's like, listen, as long as the school needs it, we're not going to change it from a gym. So we did have that reassurance. It's not like we felt pressured, but we did know that there was an interest, and we thought maybe this could fit into a larger town plan, the idea that we could get the donor funds, build this gymnasium, reallocate that space, kind of fit nicely into a larger vision for Washington Island that we really liked. And that's where we're at. Next up is Phil, and he's going to tell you a little bit more about the gym that we're hoping to build.
There we go. Yell. Okay, if you can, almost missed out. I told Michelle I'm probably going to fall off the stage. This is a rendering of what we're proposing and what has been proposed to the school board to go. And the lower portion down here, of course, is the existing school. This I can get a little fair. You can, main entrances coming through here, the commons area is right in here. This is the only connection between the new building and the old building, and that will be, looks kind of funky, but that's because it's got to be a firewall by state codes. Entering this from the back side, you will see that there is a canopy underneath the driveway so that you can unload in inclement weather and go into the main entrance to the gym. This in here is the support area, and this, of course, is the box. And when I first talked to Tim, it was if you want an architectural monstrosity, you can go down to a lot of the schools in the lower part of the states where Neenah just spent over $110 million on their high school. But if you look at the structure, the outside has probably got 5 to 6 different facades and all kinds of architectural features. This is a gym that we built in Oshkosh for the Boys and Girls Club under the same thought process of what we're doing right now. And so, click, okay. Next, there we go. This again is a drive-through coming through in here so that you get out from underneath your car. You can come in here if you're coming in to walk, because one of the main things that Tim and I talked about very early on is that this gym is not just a school gym, it's a community gym. It's for the use of the people here that live or stay here like I am and use the gym in the off hours of school. And Tim will get into how that's been arranged. Next slide then, please, because this is the floor plan. And this again, here is that wall that comes down right through there. This is the existing school going this direction. This is the firewall, and that door is the only door that connects both buildings. And it will be, of course, today's security that will be locked, and the ability to go from the gym into the school will be controlled. There's an exit going out to the south, and then here's the canopy up here on the top that you come in. You come into a little vestibule area right in here to get the snow and stuff off your boots. There's a lobby that's sitting in here that people can congregate on at halftime at different courses. And to your right as you enter, this area is a concession area. And so if you're going to have pop and that type of stuff, that it'll be sold. A lot of schools use their student councils to do that, and that's where they raise money. To your left are 4 separate individual bathrooms. You'll see a picture of one coming up very shortly. So they're unisex as we go through there. And then the entrance into the gym is right through here. Then this is one locker room that you go through in here, and here is the other locker room sitting in that area. This area right here is the janitor's closet that'll keep his mops, etc. And this, this room over here is the storage for all the basketballs, volleyballs, rolling balls, everything that you can think of. And then inside this is the box, because that's what I always said to Tim from day one. We're going to build a box that houses a gym. We're not going to build a gym so we can make it architectural record. These are the bleachers. The walking track goes right here. You can kind of see it outlined. And there's an awful lot of lines, it looks like, on the courts, as you see here. And the reason for that is this is multi-use facility. And these are the bleachers that hold about 100 people, thereabouts, plus or minus. They are foldable. They fold up against the wall. They're also on wheels, so you can move them from this side to that side, down here to up here, etc. So now, if you could there, Tom, go to the next slide. Here's the full court basketball layout. Bleachers are not shown at this point in the program, but they could be anywhere they want to. So this is a regulation high school basketball court size for the state of Wisconsin. Go ahead. This then is a cross-court basketball layout. So you've got for the younger kids, and there's been some discussion, is that really needed or not? It's available. You drop a curtain that you'll see in a picture coming down here so that you can have 2 different games going on. You can move the bleachers around, put them here. You can see the bleachers there. You can do anything you want, okay? Next is you got a pickleball. Pickleball for old people like me. And I hate the game. I didn't like it at all. But anyway, in Florida, it's a big thing in Florida. But they're set up for pickleball. And, you know, part of the thoughts, again, with the community, the Tuesday night pickleball league will have access to the gym. And Tim will get into how they get in and how they get out. But that's the thought process, is that the public will be able to use it for the function they wish to use. Go ahead. This is the pickleball, again, the same thing with the bleachers moved around just to give you an idea of what can or cannot be done. Okay, Tom? And this is the volleyball. That, again, no bleachers are shown, but high school volleyball is big in the United States. Go ahead. And then this is with chairs and bleachers, just to kind of give you a size. This is the building in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. We finished it last year. It is the same precast panels that we are proposing for this building. The actual precast panel goes down into the ground about 3 feet and sits on a footing so that you set the panel, you set the joists up on top, you weld them together, and pretty soon you got a building. You'll see these are the emergency exits that are on the building, and you'll notice no hardware. You can't get in from the outside, only from the inside. There's the windows above the top of the double doors, so we have a little light transfer going through there. And these are just the outside stands. So where we're standing right now, if you looked, that's what you would see. And you would look at, this is the end of the building. Okay? That's just a bonus. That is not in the plans. Okay, go ahead, Tom. And here is the inside of the gym. And notice the wheels, the bleachers are pushed back, boy going after girl. Well, you got to have that, right? It's high school. Now, this is actually Boys and Girls Club. But you'll notice the different baskets, the kids on different areas of the gym. These are the floors with all the different markings for the different activities. Here again, you can see the three-point lines. You can see the cleanliness. It's just, and here is that middle curtain. And it'll physically just come straight down like that and split the building in half. There is, again, the curtain here in the middle. Here you'll notice Brian Mann's HVAC coming through, keeping us warm and cool. It is air conditioned, by the way. And so the floor, that's what it looks like after 1 year. Typically where we are down here, they're looking at a 5-year turnover. Up here, it'd probably be more like 7 to 10. So go ahead, next one. Bathroom. Everybody wanted to see the bathroom, and Glenna wanted to see the toilet paper falling down on the... She couldn't resist that, right? Anyway, so it's just very basic bathrooms. We're trying to keep things very, very simple. You'll see the floor is got epoxy on it with the coverings. It's very simple, just regular base block masonry, simple mirror coming up, just simplicity. Okay, Tom. Here's your bleachers. Okay, folded up just like that. There they are when they're outstretched. Here's the scorekeeper thing is on the wall, and then here's your baskets, and here's the back of the baskets, as you can see. You can see the structure up on top. It's all painted white. It's the roof deck is painted white. The bar joists are painted white. And the structure of this, again, you set the precast panel, about 2 precast panels, then you put a couple bar joists in, you weld them together. That holds it from falling down, and off you go. Next. This is one of the things that we are adding that we found was very necessary is acoustical panels. Because of the noise of a gym and the hard surfaces, everything in this room is hard. And that is the acoustical person's nightmare. So what we want to do is we will be placing acoustical panels throughout the gym someplace. This here is underneath the basket. This is a, not a climbing, it's a bordering wall, they tell me. You've got to be under 10 feet long, therefore you don't have to have the harnesses and the supervision. And when we were in Oshkosh, about 30 kids, they rang a bell or something. In comes 30 kids, all about that big. And they turned around, and every single one of them jumped on that board. It was amazing how often the kids were, it's like a magnet. So that is currently not in, but could be donated by someone. Go ahead. And now we're with the foundation, the building committee is being formed so that we get together with representatives of C.R. Meyer, the Island Angels, the Bradley Jordan Foundation, and the school. So all have membership on that building committee that makes the decisions as to what kind of faucets, what kind of colors, what kind of this, what kind of that, and keep everybody informed as to where we are and what we're doing. And there we got decor, flowers, etc. So you can see that, I guess I'm on there. Mike Tilkey, Tim Shea, Lehman, Joel Gunlickson, Andy Keem, and Liz Pratt, and represent all these varied interests as we go. Okay. Okay, and this is something that I take great pride in, quite frankly, is trying to find and utilize all the local contractors that we can on this island. It is very expensive to build on this island, and the expenses come, a lot of it is because we're on an island, and you got to take a ferry, and your housing is limited. So we went out at great length to the excavation and site work would be done by Tom Jordan's company, the plumbing by Gillespie Plumbing, the HVAC, Man Heating and Air. The electrical is Tony Young, most of you know him. I got him out of retirement, along with Hannes Johnson, so that should work out good. The sanitary system, because we do need to add a holding tank outside to collect the waste before we pump it into the system that exists. The existing system is large enough. It just needs a small holding tank coming out of the toilets. And then the sidewalks, Jonathan Mann, and there's some outside curb and gutter and that type of stuff. So those are the people that are currently, and I solicit any more that wish to supply some services, will greatly answer and say whether that'll work or won't work. Go ahead. And now it's Michelle Jordan's time. Thank you.
Okay, so I think next slide, Tom. Okay, so I want to give you a little background of like my story with the gym. About 10 years ago, when my kids were all still in school, 3-season athletes, Tom and I would go to all their games all over the state, and literally we went down to Madison, up to, up the past Green Bay, north, and then we'd come back to our gym, and I'd started asking, like, why can't we have a gym? I don't understand. Like, everybody has a gym. The tiny little Catholic schools that have less kids than we do have gyms. I kind of said that with a lot of things. I said that with prom, and I said that with, like, why can't our kids have what everybody else has? And then we went to Beaver Island for the very first island. I'm not sure if you all are aware. There is a tournament called the Island Tournament that is Washington, it's all of the island schools. So Washington Island, Put-in-Bay, Beaver Island, and Mackinac. So, and that year we flew across and we went to Beaver Island. And Beaver Island School has less students than we have, and it's a smaller community. And they have a gym very similar to what we're looking at to build. And I remember, we talked with the administration. We got, like, the winds were bad. We couldn't come home. We were there an extra night, so we had a lot of time to sit and talk with administration and teachers. And one of the things that they said, like, well, when are you going to do something about your gym? We can't come. You can never host this island tournament. Doesn't your community care about your kids that they won't build them a gym? Oh my gosh, that hit me right between the eyes. Like, well, I don't know. What do you say to that? So that really, why can't we? Why can't we do this? We can do this, I think. So that's the history of all of this. And what happens is we had a gym committee. We figured out over many meetings where to put the gym. We started raising funds. Those funds are still put away, and we have now applied them to this project. There was an administration change. Lots of things change when you have an administrator change. They have to get up to speed on where we are with the whole project, and then COVID hit, and that wiped schools. I mean, we were trying to figure out what to do to educate students. A gym had to be on the back burner. So after all that, then I retired, and now I'm not retired. So I wasn't even in the school at that point anymore. Tim came on board, asked Tom and I for our story. We gave that to him, and then Bradley died, and so. That changed everything for my family and for us, and I think for our community. I mean, Bradley was a pretty strong presence in our community. So after all of that, we decided to have a foundation called Bradley Jordan Foundation. It was kind of Sue's idea after watching the funeral and just the outpouring of people that maybe Bradley and his legacy could help us get this done. So we formed the foundation. That was in November of 23. So Bradley died in July. A few months later, November of 23, Sue and I had been conniving behind the scenes to try to get this done. The late Jay Ward was our lawyer. He was instrumental. He and his group, they were the ones that did all the paperwork for us to get our 501c3 started. So we started this in November. February of 24, they had all the paperwork filed. And now it takes 9 to 12 months. And, I want it done yesterday. So that was tough to sit and know we're going to not really be able to do a whole lot for 9 to 12 months. We started meeting, Sue and I called a meeting. We asked people to be on the board in August of 24. So Craig and Patty Allen moved up to the island. He's a grant writer. He offered his services to write grants for us. We knew that we did not want a referendum. We did not want to burden our community with building a gym. We know that our community sustains our school. So the last thing we wanted to do was add another thing for them to have to pay for. So that was off the table to try to go to a referendum. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not talking off my slides. So we got the quote of $4.2 million, $4.5 million. And at that point it was me, Sue, Shay, Joel Gunlifson, Tyler, Ben Olson is from the Chicago area. He has a house here. Mike Whalen has a house here, and Betsy's our newest board member. We were like, how are we ever going to do this? I mean, truly, we just would look at each other a few meetings in. We don't know how we're going to do this. How are we ever going to how can we raise that much money? We were like, okay, let's get all the landowners. Let's try to do all of this. In the meantime, before we knew anything about a matching, Island Angels was graciously offered to take any funds, anybody that donated any money to us, because we could not offer them a tax exemption status at that point because we didn't have it, that they would take any money that came, they could make out a check to Island Angels, they would hold it, and then when we had our 501c3 status, then they would donate that right back to us. And that we did have people that donated in 24 and wanted it for tax purposes. Do you want to speak for a moment? Yes, I'm going to let you take. Island Angels needs to talk a little bit.
Well, Island Angels was very happy to partner with Bradley Jordan Foundation in accepting the early donations that came in for constructing the gym. One of the reasons that Island Angels was happy to participate was because our basic philosophy in fundraising is that we don't provide grants. We provide incentives to other organizations that need and want to raise money. We can help tell them how to do it. We can provide some incentive plans so that their membership or their constituency or their neighborhood, however that organization is structured, gets some ideas for how they can raise money. Island Angels has been amazingly successful in raising money for projects on this island and for tapping into resources that many people don't ordinarily think of. One of our greatest resources is the generosity of our community members who know that they can make commitments to us and have their generosity be recognized anonymously so that there's no embarrassment or no big fanfare about them. I'm eternally grateful to people who understand the value of anonymity in making gifts. So that's one of the things that we've done particularly well. And I'm very proud of many of the projects we've done. Island Angels has accepted the generous donations of people who wish to remain anonymous, but who have built the new kitchen at the Bethel Church. There are other major projects on the island in which Island Angels has taken a pivotal role, and we're proud to do that. We're always grateful to help another island charity and to work together in a productive partnership.
Thanks. So really, we couldn't even have taken some of, and we're talking major donations. More than $50,000 came in that year. And so we could not have taken that. And they wanted it, and the person that did this wanted two $50,000 donations, and they wanted it to be for 24 and 25. So that we without them, we could not have even taken that. So what really changed, like our whole entire board, was when on October 3rd, I went back to my notes, Bruce and Phil asked to have a meeting with Tim and I, and they sat down and they said that there was a group of individuals that was going to pledge $2.5 million in matching funds. And all of a sudden, like, wow, this is doable. Like, we just had half of what we thought we needed just got funded. So that totally changed the trajectory of our whole entire board. At that point, we were like, we can do this. We can figure out how to do this. So we then put it into high gear. I mean, and if you can think about this, we really didn't start raising funds. It hasn't been a year that we've started this. The first donation came in, I would say, maybe November of a year ago. So not even a year ago did we get our first donation. So I think we've done an awesome job. It's, our board has met every other week for the entire year to get this done. We can do next slide. Okay, so what have we done to raise money? And I had to really go back and think because it's been a busy year. We first thought, okay, let's go to our landowners. Let's tell them what we want to do. Joel went and got all of the landowners' names. We started making lists of who could contact who. We got a Facebook page made. Ben Olson, we knew we needed a website. He has a website designer friend, did that for free for us and is still doing that. We needed a one-page talking brochure. He had a friend that did that. We got that done. We made banners, and Shay put those all around town. The banners are at the ferry office. You've seen them everywhere hanging around town. They're at the ball field. Jackson Harbor Soup put some out there. We have table tents. Those are at various restaurants around town. We have table tents at Wild Tomato in the county. There are posters at Piggly Wiggly when you check out a Piggly Wiggly. The memorial party, we have a memorial party every year for Bradley, and there's donations that come in at that party, as well as the ice party handed us a donation. Ben made memorial flags for boats that we are selling, and we have those are out. We received a $100,000 grant from the Door County Community Foundation. We received a $50,000 grant from Raybrook, and that's just what we've received so far. Did I hit everything on there? I think. Oh, and then our sweet island kids that went and did fundraisers on their own, and then donated the money to us. And I think we'll hear from them later. That I had no idea that was going on, but a number. And we even had a young man that comes for the summer that sold bracelets. Clearly I'm getting old because I don't understand what they were. They were like football bracelets or something that he sold, and he donated the money because he thought our community should have a gym. He has a gym at where he lives, and he thought we should have a gym too. So the kids have been really wonderful about all of this as well. Lately I've done a push to just my family and friends and ask people to just forward the things on. Our Facebook page is pretty active. Okay, so how about next slide? Okay, so where are we now? Just so right now, I left the total amount. I want you to know, as of today, just today when I went into the mail, we have $2,000 that came in again today from 3 different donors. So the total amount raised by the Bradley Jordan Foundation is $1,907,695.42. We still need to match that 2.5 million. We need 592,304. We can take 2,000 off of that. I also, one of the things, we have a spreadsheet. We started making a spreadsheet with all the donors, and then we started asking, well, who's a land, how many people are from the island? So then we started adding a column of that. And so, and just to try to get some statistics of who's giving. So we have an ongoing, it automatically calculates it every time we put a donation in. Of the percentage of that money that's been donated by landowner residents is 88.33%. It's the island people that are donating. I mean, if we did it based on the amount of people, it's less because we have so many people. We have 230 plus people as of today, have donated to this project. We're talking in the summer, we would get $5 donations. We have no idea who these people are. Never heard their name, all over the country. $5, $10, even over the weekend, $1,000. I mean, we don't even know who they are. So the money has come from everyone, but mostly it's been from you guys that have donated to our project. Let me think if there's anything else I needed to. Okay, nope, next slide. Okay, and so where are we going? So we would like, I mean, obviously we want to get this done. Like our goal, oh my gosh, it would be wonderful. We could just have it done by the end of the year, would be ideal to get that done. We would like to break ground in April, and we would like to have it open November 1st of 26, so that we could host the island tournament next year. So when they go this year, they're going to tell them that is like, we are hoping that we will be able to answer to them in the summer if we think we're going to be able to host that tournament. I'm not sure if anybody's knows the Sandbox in Sturgeon Bay. They're right next to Verily the gun store. They called this a week ago and said they have a big WWF thing that they sponsor. They said it's really kind of fun, but they sponsor in partnership with a not-for-profit organization every year, and they asked us if we would come down and do it. So we're gonna go down and we're gonna put the table tents out. If I did apply for a gaming license. If it comes, they're going to donate a gun, and we're going to raffle off a gun, and they'll do it anytime. They said just whenever you get it, we'll raffle off a gun for you guys. So they're in. Island Adventure, I'm not sure if you all know that Island Adventure is going to do a community fundraiser on this Saturday. They're having food and drinks and music for a wristband price, and they're donating all the proceeds to the foundation. We do have 2 more grants that are still out there. The WIDA grant, and Sue's writing one that's at the state level. And we are still out there looking at donors. We have people that are on the island that we know who you are. So we have a list. We haven't shared our list with anybody. It's just our board members that know who's on the list. We don't want to be obnoxious, but we also do want to just tell you we really would appreciate anything, that every little bit helps. So from our little kids that went out and sold lemonade and hot dogs and grilled cheese sandwiches, that's amazing. And they have stake in the game, and that's really, really important. So I guess that's where we are. Any input, any ideas, we'll take them. Like our board members, even we had Ozinga Concrete in Illinois, nothing to do with us. Ben went to them and they donated to our cause. So even the guys in Sturgeon Bay that we know that, are soil testers and things like that, they've all donated or offered services. So we really do have a whole county-wide, the county's behind us. For sure. So I think that might be all I have. All right.
Thank you for coming this evening. My name, if you don't know, I'm Kirsten Purinton. I'm currently the president of the Washington Mountain School Board. But well over 25 years ago, I got paid $350 to coach the girls' basketball team. And I did that for 5 years. And at that time, my lottery dream, that thing when you have nothing else to do and you're sitting around with friends or my newlywed husband at the time, what did you want to do if you won the lottery? What would you do? And it was build a gym for this community because I knew how big that need was as the girls' basketball coach. And then as I became even more part of the community and my kids took part and I saw how much people in the community wanted to come and support our kids and they physically couldn't even fit in the gym. We have people stacked, standing in hallways 3 and 4 deep, sitting on laps, everything to support our kids, and we physically can't fit the number of supporters who want to come and support our kids in our current gym. And I've put those folding chairs in and out many, many, many times. Anyway, I have also served on the board for over 12 years, and I was in on some of those discussions with Michelle when Tom was still on the board about, how can we build a gym. We have, as a school district, really tried to have a history of strong financial transparency and fiscal diligence. When I joined the board, our fund balance was critically low. We have been able to bring that up high enough over the dozen years. I'm not just contributed to me. It's definitely a group effort with our board and administrators to bring that up so we don't have to short-term borrow anymore. We've also worked really hard so we don't get any money until tax dollars come in, and we have to pay bills from July 1st, which is the beginning of our fiscal year, all the way through January before we get tax dollars. So we have to have that money, otherwise we have short-term borrow to cover our bills until we get tax dollars in. So that's the short-term borrowing. We don't have those costs anymore. But anyway, we've also worked really hard to maintain our current facility, and that is something we would do with the new gym as well. I just want to rattle off a few things. And a lot of this is because of community support. We have passed referendums. 92% of our funding last year, those of you who missed our exciting annual meeting on Monday night, 92% of our operating budget is from local tax dollars. We get very, very little state and federal aid. So thank you to the community for continuing to support school. But some of the things that we have done over the years, some of this is quiet, but we've kept our building up as a school building. We've replaced all windows, flooring, interior and exterior lights with LED fixtures, bathrooms from tile to toilets to partitions, sinks and plumbing fixtures, all new water fountains, water heater. The roof, part of that was part of a referendum, but our roof held much longer and got more expensive, so we had to come up with a little more money to cover the rest of the roof costings. The septic pump, its rail system, electrical panel. We replaced the furnace and air handling system. We fixed a drainage issue in the back of the building, installed gutters, regraded, poured a back sidewalk, and then part of our federal dollars, part of those dollars went to, that was during COVID, those are ESSER funds. We use those to change out all the bathrooms, and then we gave some of our money, about $167-ish thousand, is that correct? 112? Oh, all right, I was optimistic. All right, $112,000 we did give to the electrical co-op as part of the broadband project. So we were the first building to get the broadband. But then, just so you know, we are thinking about long-term maintenance and also operations of this new building. So I'm going to hand it over to Sue. She's going to give you a little more concrete information and numbers on that.
So I am now in charge of telling that plan. So I'm here just to share the plan that the school board has discussed with Island Angels and the foundation on how we're going to sustain this through the school. And I'm going to highlight the long-term benefits of the upkeep, and our commitment is to ensure that this facility lasts for generations to come. And we know many of you share a serious concern, how will this new facility be maintained without adding a burden to our local taxpayers? So that's my job to tell you. Okay. This is a really valid and essential question. We know that's one of the reasons that you are mainly here. I can give you a little backstory. I've worked at this school for over 20 years. It's been the most incredible job I have ever had. This community, I spent my summers up here working. I begged my parents. I wanted to live here. Like, can we just move there? The school is so cool. So the gym, I went to a huge school, 4,000 kids. It was just a unique place. And I've been through all of those gym conversations, and to see this dream almost come true is amazing. So a part of our job is to make sure we're fiscally responsible to our taxpayers, and we want to keep that with this building. So when this project is complete, our district is going to receive an amazing so when this is a complete project, the district is going to have a $5 million gymnasium. And the question is, how are we going to run it responsibly? So we are a unique district, and we're one of the very few in the state that receives no additional state aid for general operations. This means our taxpayers are the foundation of our funding and our school. And our school board is relentlessly committed to being fiscally transparent and achieving a great deal with limited resources. So how is this going to affect our tax rate? I'd ask the same question. To ensure we are fully prepared, we've calculated the anticipated annual operational expenses. Tom, can you hit the... if you look at your screen, these are our estimated costs of what we feel that, based on our numbers that we have currently with our current building, it will cost to operate the gymnasium for a year. And we're looking at about $43,000. Our strategy is simple, but it's powerful. We're going to prioritize with proactive preventative maintenance over reactive repairs, and it's really the only effective way that we're going to avoid unbudgeted stuff. So we talked with Island Angels and the Bradley Jordan Foundation, and we have created an external fund solely for the long-term maintenance of this facility.
Go back. And there you go.
Did that other part come on?
So here's our solution. We've secured 2 generous commitments for a restricted high-interest maintenance endowment fund, totaling $500,000. The Bradley Jordan Foundation has committed to $250,000, and Island Angels has also committed to $250,000. The crucial $500,000 endowment will be invested in a high-interest account. The principal is protected, and the reliable annual returns will be used to cover all future maintenance needs. This creates a permanent, self-sustaining funding source that honors the generous donation and protects the local tax base. There has been another $250,000 that the Washington Island School Board has designated out of their unreserved fund balance Monday night that will be put into a restricted fund balance. The restricted fund balance is going to be used mainly for long-term maintenance, but it is also, we are able to use it to cover operational cost. This provides a critical immediate buffer against any unforeseen emergency cost. So in summary, the school district is absolutely committed to this long-term stewardship of this incredible asset. We have created a robust and responsible financial plan with a $500,000 endowment, a $250,000 reserve for a total of $750,000, and a core commitment to proactive maintenance. This plan ensures the longevity of this incredible gift to our community for our generations to come. Thank you.
Next. This leads to, speaking of gift to our community, how will it be used by the community? Obviously, the gym will be used for gym class. It will be used for basketball practices and basketball games, other school functions. During the school day, the school will obviously take priority and use in the facility for school purposes. But outside of the school day, we are looking to open the gym up to the community to the maximum amount we possibly can. To that end, we have 2 strategies for how we'll do that. The first is an open gym time. That open gym will be staffed by someone that we employ. That person will be checking people in, ensuring people are following the rules, taking responsibility for the gymnasium while they are there. And we're looking at having it open, let's say, right away in the morning, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the morning. It's an easy time probably for us to find someone to staff that. And in the winter, people can come and use a walking track probably. They also could come in and play basketball or do something else. Like it will be open, but probably we're imagining anyway, predominantly people on the walking track. But it would be open before school. Another easy time for us to get someone to continue working in there would be right after school when we don't have practices for basketball or other things that might be going on. And in addition to that, we're looking at having opportunities for that to be open in the evenings and on the weekends. I was talking to Rich earlier. In fact, we were talking about, he had a great idea. He remembers a time where people would go to the rec as families, and parents would get together, and families would be there, and they'd be playing. It was kind of a wholesome Highland family time, and the idea of having a family open gym that's different from maybe like where the teens are coming in or whatever. We could do a lot of things for the community along those lines during that open gym time. We are looking to staff that open gym about 20 hours a week, which leaves a lot of time where we would not have that open. And that leads to the second strategy for opening it up to the community, and that's a reserved use. So there are a couple ways you might do the reserved use. If, let's say, Erica, who I just took a look at there in the audience, wants to put together a pickleball tournament, she might come in and say, I want to use it for the weekend of this and this. We're going to have a pickleball tournament, and that sounds fantastic. She will come into school. She'll give us at least 3 school days prior notice and fill out some paperwork designating who will be the supervisor. She or someone who's part of that tournament will be the person who takes responsibility instead of our employee. And they're just responsible, again, for making sure that everyone is using the gym wisely and not abusing the gymnasium, and also to make sure that they leave it at least as nice as they find it. Okay? If, let's say, Tom wants to go for walking, but he does not want to walk from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. because he doesn't want to be sweaty when the school day starts. He wants to come into the gym at 1 o'clock in the morning, and he wants to walk till 2:30 a.m. He'll come in and fill out a reservation and say, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I want to be able to use the gym from 1 a.m. till 2:30 a.m., and that'd be fantastic. Come on in, fill out the paperwork, identify who's responsible. In that case, that'd just be Tom, because no one else is walking at that time in the morning. And Tom makes sure that he doesn't break any rules, maintains decorum, and leaves the gym at least as nice as he found it. And anything in between is open. If you want to put together a volleyball tournament or you just want to come in and walk, we want you to use the gym. From the very beginning, like Phil said, from the very beginning, we knew we were not going to build a gym for 66 students. We're going to build a gym for a community. And that's what we are all committed to. So I don't even know what else to say about that. Did I miss anything important? No, thank you. We really, really do want this to be a community use gym that benefits our entire community, students obviously, but the rest of us also. And to that end, we have a little something on the next slide. Next slide. I thought this would go along. Sorry, next slide. This is all Rivers, all the stuff I just told you about. All right. I could not bear getting up in front of you and not getting a chance to brag about the school. So I just want to share with you this slide first. It shows our annual report card going all the way back to 2016, 2017. The state gives every district in the state a report card grade. And going back to 2016, 2017, we earned a 61.3, which is a meets expectation, but a low meets expectation. And then you can see that blue line that you see there is a trend line that's projected by the graph. It's not me putting it in there. That's the trend line that it created for how well we have continued to grow our student talent and potential in our district. And I just want you to know, I guess, that we are committed to developing our students, to developing their talent, to preparing them for the futures, and growing the school and helping the community as much as we can. I think Island Angels, committed to the community. Bradley Jordan Foundation, committed to the community. Washington Island School, committed to the community. I just really want that message to resonate as much as possible. And this next slide, I think I want to just dispel some things that I've heard about concerns about the declining enrollment at the school and the size of the school. We are a small school. We're tiny. But I just want to show this graph going back to 2020 for the last 5 years, what our enrollments have been. So 2020, 21, 48 students in the school. Next year, 51. The year I came in, I spent some time that summer kind of talking to some students or parents who had left the school. We got back a whole bunch, so we jumped to 61. We had some families who had to leave the island the next year, went down to 56, but then back up to 62. And this year, we actually started the year with 70. We had a family who had to leave and another family who the students moved on, and that left us with 66. But we are at least going in the right direction. We are not declining. We may well next year, I can't say, but I can tell you we have 9 seniors graduating this year, and we have 8 4K students who started this year. And that's a pretty nice trade-off. I feel really good about that. Speaking of our students, next slide, please. Thought I'd give you an opportunity to hear from a few of them. Thank you.
So I'm here with 2 of our seniors, and I am wondering what it means to you if the school were to get the new gymnasium that they're planning to break ground in the spring. I know you're graduating, but you both have younger siblings in school. So what would it mean to you for them to be able to have this incredible gift from the foundation?
Yeah, so having a little brother, like, you see it all, like, from, like, for him, he was like, no, never really cared about sports, and then it was, like, all at once, like, baseball, soccer, like, football, and, you know, so just having a little brother that loves to, like, play sports, it is super exciting knowing that there's going to be a gym here for him, and then it's just easier, honestly, more accessible.
Community events as student council members, dances, and I mean, there's so many more things we can do, and also for our community, a bigger space. Home games, tournaments.
Likewise with the siblings, mine always being involved in sports, you can only hope they have opportunities that you've had and more. And this will open up a whole lot more for them, hopefully.
And you two are, obviously, you've been in sports your entire career. So now you will not get that chance, but you can come back as alumni.
Yeah.
So, and play in that alumni game.
Mm-hmm.
So,
for sure.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
No, I'm excited. You know, you see the blueprints, but it's a whole different story when it's like right in front of you.
Yep.
It's going to be a fun thing to come back to.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so guys, there's a possibility we might be getting a gymnasium in the spring, starting to break ground, hopefully opened by November 1st of next year, which for one would mean tournament could be here. But as basketball players, what is most exciting for you about our school getting a gym and having that space that we've so longed for?
This gym is it's going to be super exciting for when we shoot basketball. Instead of just hitting the ceiling, you can just lob it into there and hopefully it goes in.
I think it will be I think it is really exciting because, I mean, with the tournaments too, we're all so excited to go to Beaver Island or Put in Bay, and so it'd be really nice to see all those teams to be able to come up here and play them here.
I think it would be fun for tournaments. We could represent our community and let the other communities see our community when they come up here for basketball tournaments.
We could have more opportunities for practices and to make it better.
The floors would be a lot cleaner and be better for basketball in general.
Too, and the opportunity for more sports. Just think about that. So, anything else you want to add?
I think it'll just be really good for the entire community as well. A lot more room for playing basketball. When we play now, if you try to get the ball in from the sideline, you are standing on another person as they're watching. So I think it'll be beneficial for not only us as a school, but as a community overall.
Wonderful.
About learning the new sports, maybe we could do volleyball or something, because our problem now is the ceiling is too low, so we can't like volley the ball over the net. So maybe.
And I think you guys play all summer, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a group that plays all summer.
We usually do.
So yeah, that could open up some more intramural sports. So exciting. Anyone else? All right, thank you guys. So it is possible that our school is going to be building a new gym that is going to be gifted to the school by various donors and the Bradley Jordan Foundation. If we had a new gym at school, what would that mean to you? Or why is it exciting to you?
Because we can, like, see, like, stuff, and we can, like, go, like, somewhere different, like, not in our other gym. We can go, like, in some new gym. That would be fun. And so we don't have to walk, like, away on the concrete, like, in front of the school, so we can, like, go outside and go. So it just feels exciting.
So, guys, it's possible that our school will have a new gym. And what would that mean for you as a student? How excited are you for that?
I'm pretty excited. I think it's pretty cool that we don't have to walk in 0-degree weather to get to the gym.
More space.
Yeah. And it's probably going to have more space.
Yeah.
More fun
That's
things.
nice.
And that we don't have to walk as far, and we don't have to like we don't have to walk as far, and it would be better so then we can just go there.
What about like for indoor recess?
Yeah, and for indoor recess.
Indoor recess would be easier to get to.
Right. Yeah. Anything else?
And there would be much more space, and there would be much more like room to like play.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Anything else that? All right. Well, thank you guys.
Yeah.
So, if we were to get a new gym, what would that be for you? How would you be excited?
I think it would be exciting because there'd be more space for us to have to do like more sports and stuff.
Yeah, maybe more sports for younger grades and more basketball. Oh, fun. And Mrs. Cornell, as a teacher here, what would the new gym mean for you in the terms of excitement and also with young children that you have coming up to school?
So a new gym for me would mean having a safe, functional, inspiring space for my students to grow, learn, and play.
Wonderful. Thank you. Great. So, if we were to have a new gym built, why is it exciting to you for our school?
Because there's probably going to be some new stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Next.
Why would it be exciting, Elliot? What could you do in a new gym?
I don't know. Probably play some new games.
Yeah. Okay, Nora. Oops.
Probably there is fun toys.
Yeah. Okay. How about for you? What would a new gym mean for you?
There's going to be new stuff to play with ABCs.
Okay. All right. And for you, what would a new gym mean?
There might be new stuff, and there will also might be new new stuff, new
Fun stuff, right? Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'm excited because there might be muffins and stuff, not red dye candy.
Cool. All right.
There might be games And there might be candy.
Ooh, okay.
And there might be other games.
And how about their teacher, Mrs. Foss? What would a new gym mean to you as a teacher in our school?
Oh, it would be awesome because we would be able to go and have a large space to run around and have a lot of fun, and we can learn by using our big strong muscles, right? Wouldn't that be a fun time?
Yeah.
And we can do exercise. You're absolutely right. So it'd be very exciting.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I am here with one of our new to the district teachers, Mrs. Pratt, who is currently teaching in the special ed department and also one of the middle school PE classes. And Mrs. Pratt also had some children doing some fundraising. So maybe you'd like to talk about what gave them, the idea to do that.
Sure. Yes.
And what would the new gym mean to you as a teacher, parent, all of the above?
Yeah, Lucia and Opal did some lemonade stands and over the summer, and grilled cheese stands. And I thought, I might have stuck a little idea, like, wouldn't it be nice to raise some money for the gym? And they agreed, and it's awesome because it's going towards their future here at the school. And it means a lot. As a PE teacher, I would look forward to having a spacious, safe supply room where we can keep all of our materials. And as a parent, it would be awesome to host one of those basketball tournaments. I was able to go to Put-in-Bay last year, and it was so cool. And to think if we had the capabilities to do that, it would be really exciting.
Cool. Anything else you would like to add?
No, I just think it'd be a wonderful thing for the kids in our school, the teachers, and the entire community.
All right, wonderful.
Hello everyone, my name is Julia Pratt.
And my name is Rita Valentinsik. We are the president and vice president of the Student Council, representing the entire student body.
The Student Council is proud to announce a donation of $6,000 to the Bradley Jordan Foundation in support of the construction of a new gymnasium.
As a council, we were all in favor of making this contribution. A new gym is something we've been looking forward to for a long time, and we believe it will be a valuable addition to our school, benefiting students for years to come.
At its core, the Student Council is committed to improving our school and creating opportunities that bring students and the community together. This donation is a perfect step towards that goal. We are excited to be a part of something that will have a lasting impact.
Thank you to everyone who made a project like this possible.
Your support strengthens our school and brings our community closer together.
All right, it is time to answer any questions you might have. There are microphones that are positioned on the sides if you would like to get up. Otherwise, Tom was going to be trying to hustle if we need to move the microphones into the center. We welcome any questions or comments anyone may have. Anyone interested in voicing your thoughts? One big question I have, and this is maybe for Michelle, how are we going to pay for all that candy our 4-year-olds want? Erica.
Thank you. I currently came, before I was on the island, I worked for a school district for 24 years. One of the things that we did there was we had Paul Tim, he's a renowned school safety expert, come in and like do an analysis of our school. And this was something I, talked to Tim about when I first came to, the island and being on the school board, that if Paul were to come here and look at our situation we have with our kids walking through that parking lot to go to another building through a, parking lot, I know we're on the island. I know we have this sense of security and everything, it's not going to ever happen here. But we put our kids in danger every day when we walk them through that parking lot to that other building. Not to mention, I subbed once, and it was raining and cold, and, the kids having to go through and get dressed, and now they get into the gym and they're wet. So not only safety of what could happen from an outside person walking through that gym, but also then just the fact that it's cold and wet and, in the middle of the snowstorm. So I've really been a supporter and hoping that we can have this gym happen just for our kids, for, if anything, the safety, reasons too. So I just wanted to share that.
I'm Doug Hanson. Is there any student representation on any of the planning committees that were shown here this evening?
Well, we have talked to students about the new gymnasium and gotten input, but nothing formal. Yeah. But that's a great idea for the construction committee that we are forming. Earlier, Phil talked about the construction committee, and I think having some student representation, at least a couple of students on that, it would be a very good idea. Thank you, Doug.
Anyone else? Jim Rose here. My only concern is I see there's still money left to be raised. What happens if we don't quite get up to that goal?
We're not stopping, Jim.
We're going to make it, Jim.
Yeah, we're too close, Jim. We'll find it somehow. We still have friends and family that we can go bust down their doors. So.
To clarify, what we're in the process of doing right now is contacting all the suppliers, vendors, subcontractors, et cetera, with the detailed plans. The plans that were developed by Sierra Meyer are ready for construction. They call it issued for construction IFC drawings. We had today a young lady from the county zoning approve the site, which now allows the state to approve the plans so that we can start ordering material. We are anticipating having the final number sometime between the 1st and the 15th of November so that we know the exact number of what we need to do to raise. Prudently, we should have some kind of a contingency of some sort as we go forward. But speaking for Sierra Meyer, we are committed. We are going to make this happen. Not quite sure how that's going to happen. I've